like.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Man. Come on. As the big man Ian Wright just said there, people deluded, I'm back again. Now, apparently Arsenal have been interested in Hamidou Onana, and it seems like Aston Villa have defeated Arsenal in that race, reports David Ornstein. Why is the Calafiori deal taking so long? And allegedly Mikel Arteta has spoken in relation to this upcoming season. So yeah, appreciative to have you lot tuned in. We're going to go over all the little talking points concerning the football club we love, as well as the manager's thoughts and some other surrounding talking points in between. Give me 30 seconds, people, or less. That's what she said. And I'll share my screen, people. Now, hopefully, it hasn't done me dirty. There we go. Don't forget to hit the like button. Aston Villa in process of finalising agreement with Everton for Hamidou Onana. Now, obviously, Belgium were very disappointing during the Euros campaign, but he was probably one of their bright sparks. Respectfully to Everton, what them and Aston Villa are doing are light years apart. Unai Emery and Aston Villa are on the up. Everton, it feels like they're stagnating to a degree. They're in the Champions League next season, and it's quite the coup, really. Obviously, they probably need a replacement for Douglas Luiz, who has gone to Juventus, and it seems like Onana could be that. And they've actually signed, like they signed that lad from Hull who used to play for them. They got 1-2 decent players already, and they're getting more, man. Aston Villa and Emery are on the up, people. The villains are really living up to their name. David Ornstein said at the time of making this video 2 hours ago, Aston Villa are in the process of finalising an agreement with Everton to sign Onana. A deal worth in the region of 50 million is close, while personal terms have been agreed between Villa and the 22-year-old on a long-term contract. 50 million sounds just about right. A key target for manager Unai Emery ahead of Villa's entry into the Champions League next season. Onana is known to be enthusiastic about playing for the Spaniard and his team. I mean, Emery, you see his CV, you've seen what he's done for player improvements, you can see what Aston Villa are doing. It makes sense, really. Now, us football fans, respectfully to Aston Villa, probably thinking, why didn't he join one of the traditional top 6 people, which I hope we find out. And at 22 years of age, he's, you know, it's a long-term signing for them, really. They'll make a lot of money if and when the time comes to sell him, if he somehow improves even more. The Athletic reported Everton are aware that the average spend on midfielders of Onana's caliber has been between 60 to 70 million in recent years, and had been hoping to recoup a similar fee. I wonder what the knock-on effect is for someone like Braithwaite, who is being linked with Manchester United. We all know Onana's been a key player for Everton. He's made 72 appearances for them, 37 last year in all comps since joining them for 30 million in 2022. Leo are entitled to 20% of the profit made of any sale, so there's some money due for them there. You know, made a decent little spend there. So I don't know what they bought him for. What does it say here? 30 million. They've sold him for 50, 20% of the profit. So there's a 20 odd million difference, people. I leave that to the mathematicians. My maths is poor, but isn't it about 2 million quid? I could be wrong, people. I just about past GCSE maths. Manchester United, Arsenal and Newcastle have previously been credited with an interest, while Bayern Munich and Barcelona are also known admirers. We all know he was playing for Belgium. So again, people, you know, it doesn't expand on anything with Arsenal, and maybe the other clubs were interested, but Aston Villa's project to go with Emery was too much of an opportunity for Onana to turn down. But this probably tells me not to disrespect Aston Villa, but maybe Arsenal, Manchester United and Newcastle, as well as Bayern Munich and Barcelona, are admirers, but they don't think he's fair value for what they want to do for 20 odd million quid. So another midfielder bites the dust. To be fair with you, I don't think anyone expected Arsenal to sign Onana. You know, if there was one midfielder that's aggressively linked with Arsenal in recent weeks or days or whatever, it'd probably be Moreno of Sociedad, who rumours are that we're trying to get that done. Nuno Tavares will complete his move to Lazio this weekend with medical tests and contract signing until June 2029, says Fabrizio Romano. Arsenal have approved all documents for the loan with a mandatory buy clause and sell-on clause also included. Moving on from that, Manchester United's Ten Hag is weighing up a loan move for PSG's Xavi Simons. I mean, if we can't get him permanently, I don't want a loan move. 1 minute he's going back to Barcelona, then he's joining Bayern Munich, then he wants to stay at Leipzig, then he's staying at PSG. Who knows what, you know, the early 20-year-old midfielder is going to do with his future. He had a great Euros campaign, scored a cracker against Arsenal. So Jaden Smith isn't also just a great actor, he's a great footballer as well, people. Be lovely signing. And I mean, you can see the Dutch revolution going on at Man United. It seems like they're signing a lot of Dutch players. You know, Deluded and Zerkzee seem to be arriving. They're being linked with Ivan Toney. Do they really need 3 strikers? Although Zerkzee could play as a 10. So we'll have to see how that develops, people. But I'm sure a lot of you would love him at the carpet. If they had to sell, Napoli's preference on the future of Osimhen is to sell him to Saudi Arabia. However, the player wants to remain in Europe and play Champions League football next season, reports Sky Sports. Now, naturally, Saudi Arabia are paying crazy money for footballers, so why wouldn't you want to sell him there, really? But at the same time, I think at this moment in time, it appears that Napoli and Osimhen have been priced out of a sale to another European club. Apparently, Tony wants to join Man United, and his agent has already informed Brentford. What have I been saying for months? Man United and Spurs, he's the one that you need. And I mean, we have seen reports that Arsenal value him at around 40 odd million. He wouldn't be my first choice. You know, I'd rather explore the Gyökeres, give Aston Villa what they want for Ollie Watkins, even though that's something ridiculous. I wouldn't be against Ivan Toney, but where Arsenal are concerned, it seems that that's a myth. Duet of Rennes, apparently PSG and Bayern Munich have bidded / gathering talks. This says basically Arsenal as well as Chelsea are in the back burners and waiting to see how things develop where the Rennes midfielder is concerned. Allegedly, Calafiori has already agreed a 5-year deal worth $4 million per year with Arsenal, and they need to find an agreement with Bologna to conclude the transfer. 2 days ago, we covered claims from Italy, which stated his agent is working to close the gap in valuation between the two clubs. On Friday, an Italian publication said the defender will return to pre-season training if Arsenal can't agree a deal quickly. And in the next 2 weeks, we will be going to America. So hopefully this one is sorted, people. It's claimed the negotiations between Arsenal and the Italian club are heading towards closure after the centre-back took the decisive step of requesting Bologna to sanction his sale. The Gunners tried to include Kiwior as part of the deal, which has been rejected by the Serie A side. It's claimed they've asked Mikel Arteta's side to improve the fixed part of the fee from 45 million euros in brackets plus 5 million euros in bonuses to 50 odd million. It's now down to Arsenal to make this decisive move to get this over the line. Kiwior has been linked with Bologna in a separate deal to echo this report, as well as several other Italian clubs. And you'd imagine with Calafiori, who can play left back better than him, having spent a year there, and at centre half, Kiwior probably needs to move on. Arsenal and Sevilla have signed all the documents for the Lokonga loan deal. His salary will be covered. They've got a 12 million buy clause. We're entitled to 25% sell-on clause, and the player is to complete this over the weekend. So we're getting a move on where outgoings are concerned. Italian journalists on João Felix are saying it's true that inquiries for Felix are arriving at George Mendes' door from various clubs, asking his agent as opposed to Atletico Madrid. There are Premier League sides. There's Benfica who've inquired, but right now, not much movement in the situation. As Felix waits, then maybe if something isn't working out, they have to look at alternatives. Now, what British clubs? Arsenal were linked with him when he went on loan to Chelsea, has been linked with Aston Villa. Not too sure beyond that. Where the goalkeeper search is concerned, that same journalist said, what I know on his future is in relation to Jean Garcia. Arsenal have inquired about the 23-year-old. Currently, it's not much moved on from there. That said, Garcia wants to play next season. Unless a big opportunity comes in for him, then he would consider staying at Espanyol in order to continue his development. Fair enough. He's in the Olympic squad for Spain. The consensus is that Joan Garcia will be a top goalkeeper. If he doesn't go this summer, I think he'll leave next summer, though. Garcia will be one of the most coveted goalkeepers on the market before long. Big praise, really and truly there. Arsenal and Chelsea are among the clubs that have retained an interest in Victor Gyökeres. Sources with knowledge of the situation have told TBR that the belief is Sporting would now consider a deal close to 60 million for the player. Moving away from that, again, in relation to Calafiori, it kind of just echoes the same things. And it said that, you know, Kiwior is being floated around the Italian market. Arsenal have inquired about Mikel Moreno's availability and how much he would cost if he were to leave Sociedad this summer. However, it's unlikely there'll be any movement until after the Euros. As we know, the Euros is about to conclude on Sunday, so there'll be movement, not just where he's concerned, but several others. Eze has been linked with Arsenal, Spurs, Manchester United, Chelsea, and obviously Liverpool. Obviously, we don't know what they're going to do. Allegedly, he's got a £60 million release clause in his contract, and we'll have to see if any club looks to, you know, prize him away, considering that Palace have just lost Elise, probably going to lose Gurhi. It seems like he won't sign a new deal. And we do need more depth on the flanks. I mean, Eze can play out wide as well as central midfield. I think he's more likely to play as an 8 on a consistent basis than on the left-hand side for Arsenal. And I don't have any evidence to back this up, but I just don't think he's the sort of profile, like-for-like profile Mikel Arteta wants. Although I'd love to be wrong, and I'd love Eze at the carpet, people. PSG have set price for Man United and Arsenal to sign Xavi Simons. What specifically are they asking for? Again, Bayern Munich as well as Leipzig have joined the two British clubs in that. 70 million to get that deal done, people. So if you want him, it's 70 odd million quid. Julian Alvarez, I know a lot of you are not fans of him, but apparently he's asked to leave Manchester City after rejecting a new contract at the end of last season. City obviously wanting to stay. I'd have him at the Emirates. I understand those of you who don't. Big up Taylor Foran, who obviously left Arsenal and he's joined Bromley. We wish the 20-year-old defender all the best. Mikel Arteta has spoken in relation to the preview of this upcoming season. He said, we know the demands in the league and the competition we are facing. So all the work we're doing is to find ways to get better and to see where the margins can be for our improvement. Amen. That pain from last season is still there. I think it has to remain there. But after analysing the whole season with all the staff, the team has done a lot. And probably in any other context, we would have won the Premier League. And that's a big jump. But it's not enough. It's not enough because unfortunately, you've got Manchester City. He then said, yes, that was very important. First of all, to give ourselves the chance to compete for the league, but as well to show the consistency, the capabilities, and the quality against the top sides in the countries. I don't think we'll replicate our top 6 record next season, but it'd be lovely to. That we can actually beat them all in a consistent way, and we can do it being dominant and deserving to win, which in my opinion is the most important thing. So that was another big stride, but it's not enough, so we're going to have to improve it again. The stats show a high level of quality and a high level of consistency. You're talking about the defensive side, the attacking side, about set pieces, and that's really positive because that tells you that the team are starting to dominate many areas that are necessary to win major honours. So we're heading in the right direction for sure. Don't think I can disagree with that. For sure, and we've done it across the club in every department, but not only on the footballing side or the men's first team, but when you look at the academy, the women's performances in the men's first team, the environment that we have created and our supporters is different. It's a different hunger and it's a different look. We're really showing our teeth because we want to win. We know that if we want to achieve that in a consistent way and put the club in position that we want, that's going to be key. First of all, it's about believing. We have to believe that we are good enough to do it. And I feel that belief, and the club is really hungry and we want more. He then said, people, the players who arrive first are going to set the tone for the ones that are coming back later, because we have 4 different groups coming at different stages in pre-season, and they have really felt that. So that's probably the players that are on the peripheral, or the ones that full blank didn't participate in the international tournaments. Then you've probably got the ones that exited early. Then you've probably got the ones that went to the latter stages of tournaments. Now they're returning. And then obviously the last group, in my opinion, dependent, things can change, but you're probably looking at the Aaron Ramsdales, the Sakas, the Salibas, the Rayas, the Declan Rices, that final kind of group of players. And, you know, dependent on when we get signings in, obviously those as well. Fair enough. That's what you want to hear, people. Really, that's not a lot I can tell them. They know that they are really good and they're good enough to win it, but there are certain margins and certain things that sometimes are not tangibles that are necessary to win. For me, the best thing is when you come here on the first day, when they look at us, when they see the attitude and when they see the preparation, when they hear the words that we are using to start the preparation for this season, they go, wow, this is going up a level again. So that what we did last season is not going to be enough. If I want to play, I want to be competing in this team, I'm going to have to do something extra. Fair enough. There are margins everywhere, and some of them can be tiny but can have a huge impact, but others are really big. First of all, we have to continue to do all the right things that we are doing in a consistent way, and if we can do them a bit better, that's the first part. Then the other part is, okay, what are the other areas we can still improve and go for and simplify everything we do in a really effective way? Some people say you have to work a little bit more effectively. Yeah, that is the word. I think we're going to try to work harder and be more efficiently. Apologies, man. Definitely efficiently and efficient. That's the objective. Dyslexia coming out there, people. Obviously, I don't really want to go over the Champions League stuff, but we do know that the new Champions League format, it adds more games. We need a bigger squad, and it's new territory for everyone. Bit of a shame that we didn't win the Champions League in, you know, however many hundreds of years it was going, but hopefully this can spark a new beginning. So where Arteta's concerned, Onana, all the other talking points as well as Calafiori, that's all I've got for at this moment in time. Don't forget to hit the like button, comment, subscribe, let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to check out the other videos and turn on your notifications, man, because there's hella videos to come out. Big up you lot, people, because we've been getting some great traction in the last 2 weeks. Let's make sure we continue that. DG Nation, you lot stay blessed, stay safe. Thank you for listening. Peace.